FPL Donatellos, as we have gathered here together for this team selection video, I have a very important announcement to make. Because everyone's been asking me, hey Sean, when are you going to do it? I think it's about that time, man. And you know what? I think you're right. Because I have officially done it and the time is upon us. I have hit the wild card button, baby! Let's go! For Men in Black, if you haven't watched it, go watch it. Shout out Will Smith one time. But you know what that means with my wild card. It means I'm going to be listening to a lot of Rihanna this weekend and Anderson .Paak as I dive through my computer trying to find the most pointless stats to build my squad. But before I get into why I chose the wild card and who I'm picking, I want to give a quick shout out to a couple people in the Donatello's mini league, code in the description below. Quick shout out to Angels, who is in first place, having a phenomenal season at like 25K ranking right now. It is an honor to have you in my league. Also, I want to give a quick shout out to Coops11, who scored 100 points this week. Quest to 100, somebody did it. That's phenomenal. Well done. Also, I want to give a quick shout out to Obi-Wan Iwobi, mainly because that name is phenomenal. You're having a great season too. You're in second place, but that name is great. Also, I want to say that on Thursday, I will be live streaming again around 6 p.m. London time. Come join me if you want. We'll talk about best captaincy options. You can see my updated wildcard squad. You can even ask me what the top 5 cartoons from the 90s were. I don't know, anything. Anyway, let's stop talking about it. Let's be about it, and let's go ahead and see how I did in Game Week 5. So as you can see here, my Game Week 5 score ended up with 56 points with a -4. I know, I apologize. Another -4 for the third time this season. And for the third time, it didn't pay off, of course. But hear me out, this one kind of makes sense. De Bruyne was ruled out, and at my ranking, I couldn't afford to have someone at £11.5 million player shown on my bench. I had Saka and Brewster who were going to have to start for me if I didn't bring anyone on. At that moment, I realized I got to do something. So, fast forward to Friday night, the feeling was right. It was ladies' night. Song from back in the day, check it out. Anyway, I wanted to bring in Jack Grealish, and the other choice came down between Son and Gareth Bale. Why did I pick Gareth Bale? No, I'm asking you, why did I pick Gareth Bale, man? But this is what happened. Also, I got my Welsh rugby jersey on today, repping Wales one time. Now, this is what happened. I knew I was making a mistake when I was doing it. Because my mind was telling me Son, the stats were telling me Son, the fact that Gareth Bale wasn't going to start was telling me Son, form told me Son, everything was telling me Son. But mi corazón went for Bale. Bale's been one of my favorite players for the past 10 years, even with when he was at Real Madrid. And so my heart was just screaming, go Gareth. And I was hovering above that confirmed transfer, and I almost felt like when I want to text my ex, knowing it's a terrible decision, and I need my friends to help and save me. Unfortunately, we're in quarantine, and none of my friends were around, and I pulled the trigger, knowing it was a terrible mistake. I went with Gareth Bale, and let's just say that last run he had was awesome. He went like box to box. Harry Kane played him in great. He had beautiful 1-2 with his left to right foot, split the defenders, got on his left foot, 1-1 with the keeper. And I'm telling you, I was screaming. I was going wild. My roommates thought something was happening. I started punching the air, getting ready for my, shout out Dave Chappelle, my got halfway through, and then I realized he missed. I fell on the ground like Walter White, and my roommates definitely thought something was wrong. But that's why I went with Gareth Bale. Long story short, I texted my ex, and just like that, it never works out. So as far as the rest of my squad, Matt Ryan, a disappointing game. The fact that he gave up one shot on goal, and he ended up with 1 point, is wild. Trent Alexander-Arnold, the last 2 weeks combined, he's gotten me the same amount of points that I have gotten for my FPL squad. 0. You can enter Rihanna or Vanessa Hudgens joke there if you want. I'm too hurt to go there. No, but my defense, I mean, Taylor came in through at the end and gave me 5 points with a clean sheet, but my midfield was good. In fact, on Saturday morning, I was off to a hot start. I had 4 guys get me a combined like 35 points. Mo Salah at captain when he scored in like the 70th minute. I started doing kung fu in the air, even if I can't do kung fu, but I started doing it. I was hyped. Then Werner came in. Now, Werner is a lot like this girl I liked in high school. For 4 years, I had a crush on her, and everyone was telling me, you're not going to be able to pull it off. You're never going to be able to go on a date with her. Come my senior year, I finally landed a date with her, And then it went well. And the next morning, she just happened to have her phone break, and she wasn't able to text me back, and then she never texted me again. But in all seriousness, it was so great to see Werner finally score. 2 goals and an assist is a great way to start your resume. Now, that first goal was about as Kobe-like as you could do. If anyone who watches NBA, that was a very Kobe-like goal. His move to free his defender right off the bat, phenomenal. Got him a lot of space. Then he goes 5-on-1. And he has the calmness and the composure to dribble, boom, boom, go to his right foot, and slot it home to get his first goal. Again, that is Kobe-like. The hugest compliment I can give. If you go ahead and Google some Kobe Bryant pictures, you'll see times where he has like 3 or 4 guys trying to block his shot, and he still finds a way to score. It was fantastic to see that. Then he had one where he chipped it over the keeper and then headed it in. It was just, the composure that he had was brilliant. It was very assuring for the future, and I hope that he continues this up. So after those 4 guys went, including James Rodriguez, I'm sitting at the top of the world. I'm sitting here thinking, this is going to be a huge week for the Don. I throw on some music, get some Timbaland, some Missy Elliott going, some SZA, and I start having a dance party like it's You Got Served, because I'm thinking I'm about to have a huge week. And then I end up with 56 and I get a red arrow. And I'm forced to use my wild card, and let's stop talking about this week and talk about the beauty that is going to be my wild card, and please help me figure it out. So before I get into my players I chose for my first wild card draft, I want to talk about why I chose the wild card. Now, I'm sitting at work today thinking about the transfers I'm going to make, because let's face it, I can't get FPL off my brain ever. Surfing, working, no matter what it is. And I'm sitting here thinking, why not wild card? My original plan was to wait till later, but why wait when my team needs help right now? I'm at like 4 million ranking. I need to take charge and to really start playing some serious catch-up. There's enough information out there that I can make solid decisions. You know who's good and who's playing well, who's not right now. Go ahead and use it. So that's essentially why my team value was terrible, and I need to make some big moves. So not only that, I had a lot of players on my squad who weren't even playing. Some were loaned out, a lot were hurt. So this move just makes sense to me. So in goal, I'm going with the biggest no-brainer in the squad. The first name off the board, Emi Martinez. Now last season for Arsenal, he looked phenomenal, and it doesn't look like he's changing with Aston Villa. Aston Villa are in second place, and he's a huge reason why. I'll say it again, second place. And that's playing only 4 games. They are 4-0. They've only given up 2 goals all season long. He's a big part of that. As far as expected goals against, they're in first. They're averaging 1 expected goal against them per game. Emi Martinez is phenomenal. He's the best under £5 million keeper. Set and forget, hopefully, for the whole season. Then I got Kyle Walker-Peters. Now, he's just staying in there because I don't know how many other 4.5 million defenders there are. And he does have a tough schedule with Everton up next and then Aston Villa. But I still think he gets high enough up the pitch. And hopefully he can deliver some crosses to Danny Ings and Shea Adams if he can score. But Kyle Walker-Peters, I still think he's a good pick. Then I have Tarek Lamptey, and it feels so good to say that. I love this kid. He is phenomenal. He is by far Brighton's best player. And last week against Crystal Palace, he had 3 attempted assists and 1 shot. This guy is very dynamic. He does a great job going forward and even creating. He had a couple times, I think he got fouled in the box to create a penalty for Mopai, I don't know exactly how you say his name, but he created those opportunities. He is very good, and at 4.7, I don't think there's much better that you could do for him. Then, as you can see here, I dropped Trent Alexander-Arnold. Now, I did this for 2 reasons. One, because Virgil van Dijk is out, get better soon. But even before that, Liverpool have given up the most goals in the Prem this season. They are tied with West Brom. 13 goals they've given up. And not only that, Trent had his shot creations per 90 dropped by 50% this season. Now, that is tough, but again, this was a tough decision for me because I still think that he is good moving forward. It's hard for me to say what it would be like without Van Dijk. Now, I could obviously go back to him and switch him out, but let's talk about that later. We'll see what happens on Thursday with my stream. Now, the elephant in the room, let's go ahead and talk about him. Alex Telles is my Trent Alexander-Arnold replacement. Now, I'm not trying to say that he's better than TAA, but what I'm saying is that he's £2 million cheaper that I could throw into my attack. Now, yes, I could bring in Ben Chilwell and Castagna, who I rate highly, but I just can't afford them. I do like Reguilon a lot too, but I don't want to triple up on Spurs. Spoiler alert, I got double up on Spurs in my attack. So, Alex Telles it is. Now, this is a big risk, I'm not going to lie, but it could easily change by the time this is filming. But let's look at Alex Telles real quick. Last season, 11 goals and 9 assists. And yes, pump the brakes a little bit because 8 of those goals came from penalties, and you're going to assume that Bruno's on pens. Even without that, that's still 3 goals and 9 assists. That gives you a goal involvement per 90 of 0.43. Better than Andrew Robertson and better than Jack Grealish. And yes, it is a different league. I'm not trying to say he's better than Robertson, but what I'm saying is that's very encouraging. In fact, over the last 3 seasons, he's averaging 10 assists per season. He averages 1.4 shot per 90 as well, so he's getting a decent amount of shots off. And the amount of crosses he puts in are ludicrous. I had to double check the numbers like 10 times. In fact, I'm going to check it like 30 times before I stream on Thursday just to make sure it's right. But he averaged 8.4 crosses per game. And that number is less than the 2 seasons he had before that. That is an amazing amount of crosses. If he gets in this United squad and they start clicking, because he's going to start over Luke Shaw, in my opinion. And if they start clicking, he has a lot of options up top that he can cross the ball into. Especially if Cavani gets into that striker role. That is a big target for him to find. I think Tellus at 5.5 is a risky pick, yes, but it's one that could definitely pay off. He has a very high ceiling. So for my first midfield spot, Jack Grealish gets it because he is a dude. He looks just as good this year as he did last year, but my biggest quarrel I had with him last season was he didn't have anyone to pass to who was going to finish consistently. Now he has Ollie Watkins, who looks pretty good. He has Ross Barkley, who looks re-energized and is getting really high at the pitch, who could finish. So now he has options. In fact, he is creating 6 shots per 90, Jack Grealish. That is 4th behind De Bruyne, Sadio Mane, and Mo Salah. That's it. Those are the only players who are creating more shots than him. Behind him are big names like James Rodriguez, Bruno Fernandes, and Son. So this guy is creating a lot of opportunities. Aston Villa are firing on all cylinders right now, attacking-wise and defending. They put up a 7-piece nugget on Liverpool. They look really good. Jack Grealish at 7 million almost seems, or 7.2 now. And for me, he's locked into that first midfield spot. Then I have Mohamed Salah. Now, I don't know how much needs to be said about him. Everyone knows how great he is, especially in FPL. He's averaging 4.4 shots per 90, which is only behind Harry Kane and, surprisingly, Mitrovic. But he's also averaging like 3 attempted assists per match. He's got 6 goals already. This dude is in a hunt for the golden boot. You can tell already. He is incredibly hungry to score. Again, it's a no-brainer. Not much needs to be said about him other than the fact that he is in my squad and he's almost a set-and-forget captain for me for the time being. And yes, I finally did it. I swallowed my pride, I called my ex, and I brought her back. Son is back in my squad, which probably means he's going to get a red card and get a -2 this game and really frustrate me. But seriously, this guy is on fire, man. I'm so upset that I dropped him game week 1, and I've almost been too stubborn to bring him back, but I did. This guy is averaging like 3 shots per 90, over 3 attempted assists per game. In fact, over the last 4 seasons, he's averaging like 0.8 goal involvement per 90. He's getting, 5.5 shots created per 90. He is on fire. This team is on fire, and they have a very favorable run of fixtures for these next 3 matches. And I can't afford to be... Please, forgive me, son. But if I'm being completely honest, here comes the Don. I want to bring Gareth Bale back. And the only reason why I don't have Gareth Bale in here is because I can't afford to bring him in. And I know what you're thinking, Sean. Stop letting your heart decide. Isn't that Demi Lovato song? Selena Gomez song? Anyway, my sister listens to it. No, but I want Gareth Bale in, but I can't afford him. If I could find a way to squeeze in Gareth Bale, I'm definitely going to do it. Spoiler alert. But I can't complain with having Son on my squad. I think he's the highest scoring player in FPL right now. He's still only like 9.2, 9.3, something like that. But, Son, please forgive me, and I hope that you can ball out for my FPL squad. So last spot, was that a weird accent? Maybe a southern accent coming out? Last up in my midfield, I got James Rodriguez. That was a terrible southern accent, I apologize. But this dude is a baller. In fact, I want to talk about his leadership real quick, because it's almost the same thing that I'm seeing with Bruno at United, to where he is controlling the game, not only with the style of play, but with his leadership style. You can see when Pickford would clear the ball long, James would be leading and saying, hey, we need to slow it down, pass it around. That's what it's all about. He's bought it in his Ancelotti style, and he knows exactly what needs to be done for them to win. He is a huge reason why Everton are number 1 on the table, and he is a world-class player, and we are seeing it here live for Everton. Now, as long as he has DCL in the middle, he has a great opportunity to not only score, but to provide a ton of assists to him. He's averaging like 0.9 goal involvement per 90 over his whole career, which is ludicrous. He is just above Bruno Fernandes in shots created per 90, This guy is a phenomenal player, man. I was gonna say if I was to restart my team, he would be in it, no brainer. But I kind of am with this wild card. He is not leaving my squad. Incredible value, only under 8 million. Wild. Anyway, James Rodriguez, keep balling out, man. I love how great Everton's playing right now, and they have a great run of fixtures for quite some time too. So Werner is gonna stay in my front line. I got a 3-man front line. Unlike the girl who ditched me after our first date that I had a crush on for 4 years, who shall remain nameless. Lexi! But in all seriousness, that wasn't her name, by the way. Timo Werner looked great this weekend, getting 2 goals and assists, and it's going to be very hard for me to drop him after a performance like that. And now the fact that Pulisic is healthy and looks very dynamic with the ball, Kai Havertz is slid into the middle, and Ziyech, who is very aggressive with his passing, anytime Pulisic or Werner are trying to leak in behind the defenders, he is trying to find them. He has the green light from Lampard, and he is going to be very aggressive with his passes. And I can see Ziyech coming up with quite a bit of assists himself. Now, I could probably switch out Werner and go to Pulisic and save some cash. But, again, after a performance like that, man, it's hard for me to drop Werner. Yep, I finally did it. I brought DCL on my squad. Long overdue, I know, but better late than never. Never late is better. Drake line. But this guy looks incredible. He's averaging like 4 shots per game. He is their dude. He already has 7 goals to start the campaign. And I can see him start ending up with 20 plus in the whole season. He has a great run of fixtures coming up outside of United match. Incredible run of fixtures. Not only that, you look around him, James Rodriguez, world class, and is going to be looking for him all the time. Digne, going to be looking for him. Allen, Decore, Richarlison when he comes back after his suspension with his red card. That squad is talented, and he is going to be the guy that's going to score 20 plus. And not only that, something that really stuck out to me this weekend, his post-match interview. He was talking about how they played against Liverpool, and I think the announcer said something like, "Aren't you happy that you came away with 1 point after that Monte call got pulled back as offsides?" Crazy, by the way. But he was like, "We deserve better," or maybe not we deserve better, but we're better than looking for a point against the reigning champions. They truly believe that they are going to win the league this year from what I'm seeing with the post-game interviews. And DCL looks hungry, and he looks composed, and he looks very mature. Again, 20-plus goal season coming for DCL. And I know I'm kind of preaching the choir because everyone has him at this point, but I'm very impressed with how great he is, man, to start the season. Then we got the man, the myth, the legend, the ain't no half-stepping, the smooth operator, my second favorite Spur behind Alex Morgan, Big Daddy Kane. Well, maybe 4th behind Son, Gareth Bale, and Alex Morgan, not in that order. But anyway, Harry Kane is into my squad because this guy is looking like the best player in the Prem right now. He's probably the second best striker in the world, if I'm being completely honest. He has 5 goals and 7 assists to start the campaign. Phenomenal numbers. The assists blow me out. I mean, I knew he was going to score, but the fact that he's getting all these assists blows my mind. And as far as eye test goes, under Jose, this guy looks incredible. He's dropping deeper. He's facilitating himself. Son's goal was because Harry Kane dropped deeper and threw a beautiful ball over the top. He's looking like Kevin De Bruyne mixed with Sergio Aguero right now. He looks very dangerous. He's averaging 5 shots per 90. 5. That is by far the most in the league. He's averaging like 3 attempted assists per game. This dude is incredible. He's a must-have. And he has his next 3 matches are all triple captain worthy moments for him. He's got Burnley up next. After that, he has, let me just double check real quick. Yeah, Brighton, and then he has West Brom. And even after that, I'd probably have him in my squad because he's going to get, he could potentially get the golden boot this season and get the most assists. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets, let's say, 23 goals and 15 assists the way he's playing right now. I love the way this guy's playing, and I know, again, I'm preaching to the choir because everyone knows how great he has been. But again, one of the biggest reasons why I'm wildcarding is to get him in my squad because I think that he is a must-own, especially because he's still under 11 million. Harry Kane, welcome to the squad, my friend. So if you enjoyed this video, please check out these 3 other YouTube content creators because they are putting out phenomenal content and not getting as much views as they deserve. Americans Talk FPL, FPL Graduates, and FPL Ibracadabra. All their links will be in the description below. They have phenomenal content, and they're doing a heck of a lot better than I am in FPL to start the season. Check them out. They are phenomenal. I really like them. Now, let me know what you think of my wildcard. I still have a lot of decisions to make. This is obviously the first draft of many to come. But let me know what you think about, should I bring back Trent Alexander-Arnold and maybe Robbo? Should I drop Werner and go a little cheaper to Mopay? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Anyway, I will be streaming again on Thursday at 6 p.m. London time to answer any questions or just simply to have a great time. Hope you enjoy this video, and please take some time out of your day to make someone smile, make someone laugh. Anyway, done out, baby.